from Party Loaded. We're on day 3 of the show floor of PAX Australia. I'm here with Darcy from League of Geeks, and we're going to have a bit of a chat about Armello. For those of you who listen to the show on a regular basis, know that I have a pretty heavy obsession with this game. First of all, did you want to introduce us and maybe what your role is at League of Geeks?
Yeah, so my name is Darcy Smith. I'm the community manager at League of Geeks. It's basically my job to yell about our game on the internet and hang out with our community members.
Awesome. So you're responsible for my heavy obsession then?
Yeah, well, maybe partially responsible. I'm responsible for the warm and fuzzies you get when you go and see us online, essentially.
Perfect. And I do get warm and fuzzies, that's for sure.
Perfect.
So for those of you who are living in the dark and who don't know about Armello, can you tell us a little bit about the game?
Yeah, so it's a digital board game. Essentially, it is a game where all of your interactions, whether they're equipping items or playing spells, are all through card play, and all the combat is dice-driven. So in that sense, it's very sort of nuts and bolty, but with this glorious sort of digital layer of this fantastical fairy tale world. The winner of the game is a player that takes the throne from a dying king, and it's a turn-based strategy game.
Yeah, it has it all. You've got 4 different ways to win. You've got beautiful characters and beautiful artwork, and on top of everything else, it's made here in Victoria. Can you tell us a little bit about League of Geeks in expanding?
Well, yeah, made in Victoria. We're actually 15 minutes away down the road from the convention centre, so it's like super close, very local. League of Geeks, we started as sort of a more of a collective, and it is still a collective to a degree, where we use people all over the world, just talented individuals that we'd like to work with, essentially. The studio started as 4 directors just working outside of hours, and over time we ramped up more and more and more, and now we're a 12 human team on South Bank in Melbourne.
Like you say, 12 human team. That's a good point.
Well, we're men and women.
I like that. 12.
We're a 12-man team.
Yeah, we're a 12 human team. No, we'll stick with that. That's great. So how did you become involved and your role as community manager?
So I wasn't always a community manager. I was previously the QA lead over the launch of the game especially. So I just hit them up when they were reaching out to other organisations to get some testing done, and just right time, right place. I just said, hey, what were your plans to test the game? I can do it if you want me to. And I jumped on and basically managed a database of bugs and play tested and ironed out all of that stuff. And then after we launched the game, I'm like, please don't make me do that more. And I had sort of other experience in customer service and that sort of stuff. So it was an easy fit for me to move into the community manager role.
So growing up and everything else, did you always know you wanted to be involved in games, or did it just happen to you like so many more?
Wow, it's an interesting question. I've always loved video games, and I didn't fully understand that it was possible, like when you're younger as well, because all the adults keep saying like stop interacting with video games and do the proper real life stuff, do the boring things, and I was like, I actually hit a fork in the road where I was basically said to myself, I'm either going to do stand-up comedy or make video games. Like, that's what it came down to after doing a few jobs that I didn't enjoy. And I'm lucky because now I'm the community manager. We do a bunch of streams and that sort of stuff. I kind of get a bit of both. It's weird. I was like, I'm going to make video games, but actually I didn't choose the fork in the road. I just went down the middle.
Now you get to be stand-up comedian and working games at the same time.
Yeah, well, that's your labels, not mine, but yes. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so I've had some fair experience in the game to date. One of the big things that came out recently is the Usurpers expansion. Has your favourite character changed with the Usurper expansion, or are you still playing your old favourites?
I think that my favourite is Sargon now. Like, he's just way too creepy. Like, he's kind of like, we based a lot of his demeanour on sort of Dracula. So when he's picking cards, he's like gazing into nothingness, and I don't know, he creeps me out, and that's why I love him the most.
Perfect. Yeah, he is pretty creepy. It's the way that he teleports across the board.
Yeah.
When we first saw him in our first game of the expansion, I was like, what is happening? That is a weird sound. So it's done him particularly well. Other than that, the best part I enjoy about the game is the introduction of the loot boxes and the keys. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we basically wanted to implement a system where people could sort of start this long-term progression, this long-term goal. And how we've done that is after multiplayer games, players are either rewarded a key or a chest, and when combining the two, you unlock a dice skin of varying rarity. And you can sort of combine those dice skins together and trade and sell them on the Steam marketplace. So it's this really cool sort of economy of dice skins where people are wheeling and dealing and like trying to get, just trying to get them all essentially.
Just before we came to PAX, actually my final game of Armello before I hopped on the plane, I got the Gallows Eve dice and I was very excited.
Yeah.
So it was a big goal for me before I came to PAX. Well, that's it for the interview, but what can we do to get in touch with Armello? Where can we get the game?
So we're available on Steam, that's for PC, Mac, Linux. We're on PS4 and Xbox One. We're gearing up for an iPad launch sort of early next year as well. And just armello.com, leagueofgeeks.com.
And on the social medias, it's Armello Game?
Yeah, Armello Game on Twitter and Facebook, and League of Geeks on Twitter and Facebook as well.
All right. It would be remiss of me to... Is there anything else that you wanted to share about the game or anything else you want to tease to the audience?
We have some announcements to make that will be coming in a week. Basically, people have been waiting on a few things that we've announced. So people can expect in a relatively short term something that they've been waiting on for a while, and they can expect something unexpected as well. So we have a couple of big changes in the pipelines.
So stay tuned, make sure you follow everything on Twitter and all the usual places, and keep an eye on Armello. Thank you very much.
Thank you.